yearn for a reduced military threat, while likewise pinning their hopes on the advance of more orderly economic activity. Such desires are instinctive to these countries and may also be read as a factor that will escalate regional integration. On a related point, against the backdrop of the current globalism and efforts to surmount ultra-nationalism, there is also the potential for nationalism to re-emerge, and then combined with populism to trigger to political turmoil. Such possibilities underscore the need for great wisdom in overcoming radical nationalism in each country, while formulating policies to support effective rules for economic cooperation and security. Therein also lies the significance of the East Asian Community Strategy, a concept that I strongly advocate. As I noted, US-Japan relations will continue to be critical from here on. Japan, however, must also view the entire Asia-Pacific, a region teeming in vitality and with which our bonds are growing increasingly tight, and the basic life space within which this country will continue to function and develop. We need to attach critical importance to APEC, East Asia, ASEAN, Northeast Asia, and the Japan Sea Ring as key stages for engineering multi-tiered, multilateral diplomacy. Within these regions, furthermore, we must keep our attention fixed on forging constructive bilateral relations with the United States, China, Russia, South Korea, and India, as well as the countries of ASEAN, the Pacific Rim, and Latin America, and so on. From this perspective, Japan must not limit its efforts to positive participation only in the conferences of ASEAN, APEC, and other gatherings. In Northeast Asia as well, we must work hard to advance the deployment of regional security systems, moves to nuclear-free zones, and diversified economic cooperation in fostering the same type of multilateral trust and conflict prevention in that part of the world as well. In other words, concerted efforts are needed to foster an international environment where so-called Far East crisis will not occur. During my time as Prime Minister, I met frequently with national leaders, especially those from Asia, engaging in sincere and candid exchanges aimed at cultivating mutual trust. I am highly confident that these efforts help deepen Japan's strategic reciprocal relationships with those countries. I have continued in this path after stepping down as Prime Minister as well, making visits to China, Russia, South Korea, Vietnam, India, and other destinations. There, I have met with state leaders, redoubling my quest to build up strong human ties. I am firmly convinced that such exchanges are directly in line with Japan's national interests. Prime Minister Kan, in a recent Foreign Affairs speech delivered at a private sector organization, spoke of the 5 pillars of diplomacy and security. He placed the US-Japan alliance at the core. Naturally, one of the areas mentioned by Mr. Kan at that time was also Asian diplomacy. After the DPJ took over the controls of government, I announced that Japan's new policy focus would revolve around the East Asian Community Strategy. I remember, like yesterday, the ringing commendation that the statement earned from Asian countries. I personally attribute such praise to the declaration that Japan was, at last, ready to move not only from a geopolitical perspective, but also with Asia at the core of its concerns. Let me repeat, I am in no way denying the tremendous importance of US-Japan relations. I heartily subscribe to the critical nature of that alliance. Yet, at the same time, how we engage China and other Asian nations almost certain to continue to record swift growth over the years to come, as well as the viewpoints that we adopt towards those states, will be a key factor in determining if Japan can make the leap to a nation of even higher caliber and prestige. By no means must we disappoint our neighbors on this front. This is a line of thought on which I sincerely hope to gain the understanding and support of Prime Minister Han. Recently, meanwhile, the media reports daily on the discord within the DPJ. Taking this to heart, we must do everything in our power to rebuild a united party system and restore the faith of the public in our ability to govern. In that regard, at the recent party convention convened by the number one opposition party, I understand that the leader of that party appealed to the effect that if only their party could take back control of the administration, everything would go smoothly thereafter. In response to that, allow me to note that the DPJ remains the ruling party selected by the voters. Without the people's trust, of course, it will be impossible to maintain the government. And we must certainly spare no time or effort in moving in that direction. However, I noted at the outset, because the previous administration retained political power for so long, it became unable to keep pace with the changes occurring throughout our society. That government failed to pull away from its underlying structure of personal connections and collusion, with the increasing sense of stagnation clearly exposed. The party in question has failed to honestly reflect on these past actions, nor has it displayed any constructive ideas of perception of the times. Instead, the statement was made that as long as they can retake the government, there will somehow be smooth sailing ahead. In my mind, such a declaration is a gross insult that, by its very nature, displays disdain for the intelligence of the Japanese people. In closing, I feel that for the Democratic Party of Japan, the most important demand at this time is for each and every member of our team to return to the basics, reconfirm the validity of what we seek to accomplish, and once again submit our case to the people. Thank you for your kind attention.